welcome you live to Falcon Park in Auburn, New York. It's once again time for Elmira Pioneers baseball as your Pios have made the trip up Route 34 here to take on the Auburn Doubledays. Good evening, everybody. For the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network, I'm Farrell Hudson. The Auburn Doubledays have taken the mound behind their starting pitcher in Hunter Lefkis, which sends us to give you the Elmira Pioneers starting lineup. Aiden Grabowski, the shortstop, will lead things off on an absolute tear. The Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League Western Division Player of the Week. TJ Gramesti doing the catching. He'll bat second. Anthony Manganiello is in left field. He'll bat third. John Simmons is the third baseman in the cleanup role. Cooper Smith is in right field. He'll bat fifth. Michael Palmer at first base will bat sixth. Ty Martineau is the DH. He'll bat seventh. Carl Wagner doing the EH role tonight. He'll bat eighth. Brendan Hammer is at second base. He'll bat ninth. And batting 10th is Ben Rohde. We mentioned Hunter Lefkis making his second consecutive start against the Elmira Pioneers. For Lefkis on the season, it has been a bit of a rough going. Nothing in one record across 3 appearances, 3 games started. Across 8 1/3 innings, he's given up 13 hits, 14 runs, 14 earned runs, that is. 12 earned, 14 runs, 9 walks and 12 strikeouts, pitching to an opposing batting average of .351. So the Pioneers are certainly hoping they can take advantage of that and rake tonight as Aiden Grabowski steps to the dish to lead things off. Grabowski's really salvaged his season. Started off in the opening 5 games, batting .190, now up to .359, 13 games played, 12 starts, primarily at the shortstop position. Righty-on-righty matchup, and we're ready to go on this warm Wednesday evening from Falcon Park in Auburn, New York. Lefkis is ready from the right side, kicks and offers to Grabowski, and Aiden takes a called strike over the outside corner. We're underway. Grabowski also an astute fielding percentage, too, of .956. 23 of a possible 25 putouts from the shortstop position as he watches the ball high. 2-0. Rather, 1-1 the count. 75-mile-an-hour breaking ball from Lefkis. This begins another busy stretch for the Pioneers. We alluded to that on the pregame show. 6 ball games in the next 5 days for Elmira. They could be as high as first place with a victory tonight, which would put them at 12-6. A loss could put them in 4th. That's just how tight the PGCBL Western Division is right now. A swing and a miss from Grabowski. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count on Aiden. It'll be Grabowski followed by Gramesti and Manganiello here in the visitors' half of the first. Breaking ball just off the outside corner. A nice idea from the righty Lefkis. Nonetheless, Grabowski takes. I thought that was a breaking ball. Moved like one for sure. Had nasty movement. Must have just been a really well-located cut fastball from the righty Lefkis, who sets and fires, and the breaking ball fouled back to the screen. So a good at-bat being pieced together by Grabowski in the early going. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody out. All kinds of confidence from Pioneers assistant coach in Eugene Barber. You can catch his pregame availability on the Elmira Pioneers YouTube channel. 2-2 the count. Lefkis working from the right side of the rubber, kicks and deals, and a swing and a miss. Grabowski cuts through a high fastball. He's down for out number 1. So a much better start for Hunter Lefkis as opposed to what you saw last week, an infinite ERA against the Pioneers. That's because he did not even last it out in the ball game. 7 earned runs against. So Grabowski's down for the first out. 1 out and the base is empty. That'll bring up the righty swinging TJ Gramesti. TJ batting .480 across 16 games with the Pioneers. A belligerent start for the Florida Atlantic University sophomore, as the first offering from Lefkis is a fastball at 85. Gramesti fouls back, 0-1 the count. It'll be a 0-1 from Lefkis. The breaking ball hit on the ground to short. There's Sullivan as throw across the diamond in time to retire Gramesti. 2 quick outs here in the top of the first. So here comes Anthony Manganiello to the plate. Righty on lefty matchup. 2 outs and the base is empty. Just underway here in Auburn from Falcon Park. 4th meeting of the season between the Pioneers and the Doubledays. Manganiello, we mentioned in the pregame what a great start he's been off to as well. .321 batting average across 10 games played. The Northwood University product fouls one back to the screen. Lefkus doing a nice job getting ahead with his fastball. 0-1 the count. On Chick-fil-A night here at the ballpark, you can see the cow walking on the concourse level in our wide shot this evening. Breaking ball hit on the ground to second. That's going to complete a 1-2-3 top of the first for Hunter Lefkus as Thompson makes the throw over to Izzo, and the Pioneers are retired in order 1-2-3. No runs and no hits, no errors, and no runners left on base. We'll take it to the bottom of the first. Elmira and Auburn scoreless on the Pioneers Baseball Network. The Elmira Pioneers would like to thank some of our most loyal sponsors for the 2025 season. That includes Absolute Care of Three Rivers, AIM Independent Living, AJ's Outdoor Power Sports, Al's Leasing, Ann's Pancakes, Blaze Brockway Contracting, and Buckley's Automotive. Pioneers have taken the field here for the bottom of the first inning. Behind their right-handed pitcher, it's going to be Nolan Terwilliger making his first start of the season for Terwilliger. 4 appearances, 7 innings pitched, a dynamite ERA of 1.29, only an earned run allowed, 1 walk and 10 strikeouts, pitching to an opposing batting average of 185. He'll go up against the top third in the Auburn order here in the bottom of the first. Vivacqua followed by Kieran and Meyer. Here's the left-handed hitting Tyler Vivacqua, who takes a fastball outside. 1-0 the count. Just underway here from Falcon Park in Auburn on a warm Wednesday evening. Pioneers playing their second game here in Auburn this season. 4th matchup in 18 days between both squads. Pioneers are 1-2, dropped the opening game here in Auburn 10-5 18 days ago. Then won 7-5 for their first win of the season. That put the Pios at 1-3, 2 consecutive ball games versus the Doubledays back in early June as Terwilliger, behind in the count 2-0, fires a fastball over the outside corner for a called strike. Then the Pioneers lost to the Doubledays at Dunfield 15-11 in an unconventional shootout last Wednesday night. Here we are tonight with first place rights on the line. Bounce to second. Throw from Brendan Hammer in time to retire Vivacqua for a quick out number 1. So Terwilliger has been incredibly economical as well. He does the same here. In the top of the first inning for the Pioneers, Grabowski struck out. Then TJ Gramesti bounced to the shortstop Sullivan. Thompson Manganiello grounded to Thompson at first. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and no runners left on base for the Pios in the top of the first. second consecutive left-handed hitter to step to the dish. Here in the bottom of the first against the righty Terwilliger, Nolan fires a changeup low in the zone, induces a swing and a miss, 0-1 the count. Tommy Kierwin, who you've seen appear at shortstop for the Doubledays against Elmira in the season. As Kierwin takes a ball low, 1-0. 14 games and 10 starts, a .357 batting average, a very formidable OPS coming in at .807 on the season. 15 hits, an extra base hit, and 5 RBIs. Backdoor breaking ball just misses the outside edge. 2-1 the count. A slow, loopy slurve executed by the righty Terwilliger. About a 11 to 13 mile-an-hour difference between the heater and the off-speed. As Nolan rocks and fires from the right side of the rubber, and the fastball misses outside. 3-1 the count. The 3-1 fastball called strike 2 at the letters. Check swing, Kierwin disagrees. So it's a full count with 1 out. Bases empty. Home half of the first. No score between Elmira and Auburn. Terwilliger sets and fires the full count pitch. Line to the left field. That's going to drop down for a base hit on one hop in front of Manganiello. Rounding first and stopping right there is Kierwin, a 1 out single. So the first hit of the ball game, and it comes off the bat of the lefty hitting left fielder Kierwin, who, as we mentioned, batting .357 on the season. He keeps the good times going for him. Here comes the center fielder Sam Meyer to the plate. Meyer also having himself a really strong season. Auburn overall as a team batting .297, arguably their strongest feat of the season, which has them at a very comfortable 11-5-1 record, good enough for first place in the PGCBL Western Division. As firing a fastball low is Terwilliger, 1-0 the count. 2 lefties and a righty to greet the Pioneers right-hander here in the bottom of the first. Terwilliger, a guy just so hungry for the opportunity, and he was pitching so well in relief that in conversations with Pio's manager Andrew Drum, who said pregame today, he joked, said, "My voice is too hoarse to even talk, but I'm happy that we're winning and happy that the Pioneers are." They have a reliever converted starter, at least for tonight's ball game in Terwilliger, who hopes to hold up and give the Pioneers some outstanding length. Next offering is fouled back to the screen from Meyer, so 1-1 the count with 1 out. After Meyer, it's Adam Sullivan, the shortstop and local native out of Lemoyne College. He patiently awaits in the on-deck circle. Shadows starting to lightly creep in, and a nice crowd on hand here on a Wednesday evening. So 1-1 the count to the righty hitting Meyer. Light lead off of first base for Kierwin. Nolan a couple looks at first, sets and fires in a swing and a miss. A nice slider executed over the bottom of third. 1-2 the count. One-two from Terwilliger, and the breaking ball misses low. You have TJ Grimesti back behind the plate for the Pioneers tonight. You've seen TJ appear more recently at the right field position, but he's gotten a couple starts behind the plate, and he's showcased his arm. The first couple ball games of the season threw out 6 base runners across 3 games. So having to be careful is Kierwin as the fastball just misses off the plate from Terwilliger, who asks if it was outside or not. It'll be a full count with 1 out. Pios have done a good job of cooling the walks, at least. You didn't see it appear from Garrett Rochon until he was tired at the end of his outing. There's a breaking ball outside corner. Throw down to second base. Not in time. It's a moot point. That's ball 4. As Terwilliger now asking the plate umpire if it missed off the plate. Umpire indicates down. So a walk and a single have the Doubledays set up here in the bottom of the first. It'll be Kierwin off of second, Meyer off of first, with 1 out, and that'll bring up the left-handed hitting shortstop, Adam Sullivan. Righty on lefty matchup with Kierwin creeping off of second, Meyer off of first. Middle infield's at double play depth, outfield at medium depth. That one line, Grabowski at shortstop. A nice play to retire Sullivan for out number 2. So spanked on the line right to the backhand side. Grabowski with a couple steps, barely a leap, and puts it away. So 2 on and 2 out, and that'll bring up the designated hitter, Colson Thompson. Pioneers looking to limit the first inning damage, a walk and a hit in the inning. Righty-on-righty matchup, it's Thompson against Terwilliger. Gives 2 looks at Kieran off of second. Rocks and fires, breaking ball misses way outside, 1-0 to count. We mentioned the Doubledays, not a friend of the Pioneers so far this season. 32 runs scored in 27 innings, 3 different 9-inning games. We say that because there's been so many suspended games and makeups and all that. There's a fly ball at the shallow left field. Camping under it is Manganiello, and he puts it away to retire the side. Final out of the inning. For Auburn, they leave 2 on, no runs on a hit, and no errors. We go to the second, no score here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Falcon Park in Auburn. Hunter Lefkis gets through a 1-2-3 top half of the first inning. He'll go up against the middle third in the Elmira order here in the visitors' half of the second. Simmons, the third baseman, followed by Cooper Smith, the right fielder, and Michael Palmer, the first baseman. Lefty, righty, lefty for the Pioneers, as delivering a fastball over the outer edge for a called strike is Lefkis, 1-1 to Simmons. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the second inning. No score between the Pioneers and the Doubledays on a Wednesday evening. Fourth matchup of the season between both squads. Simmons, off the end of the bat, pops it up. Right side of the infield, cutting over is the first baseman, Izzo. He puts it away to retire Simmons for out number 1. So John's down with 1 out. That'll bring up the righty hitting Cooper Smith. Cooper, couple games in which he was out of the lineup last week due to a hand injury. Now back in the lineup for the Pioneers. Smith, .294 across 11 games, 10 hits. No extra base hits, but 7 RBIs. On base percentage formidable at .400. Righty on righty matchup. As Lefkis kicks and fires, breaking ball outside corner. Cooper takes for a called strike 1. Good job by Nolan Terwilliger in the bottom of the first. There were 2 on for the Doubledays with 1 out, and Nolan was able to escape the jam. He induced a liner from one shortstop to another. Sullivan off the end of his bat, enough time for Grabowski to range over and put it away, and then Colson Thompson, a fly ball to shallow left field where Anthony Manganiello retrieved and put it away for the final out of the inning. 1-1 the count to Smith with 1 out. Lefkis rocks and fires. Breaking ball lined. Nice play at third base made by Alex Vasquez. So Smith hit it like a rope right on a line. It was destined to go into the left field corner, but a web gem made at the hot corner by the Doubledays third baseman. 2 quick outs now in the top of the second. So Vasquez, if you remember, came in last week as a replacement for Mike Bonfiglio, who got plunked in the head in the top of the 6th inning against the Pioneers last week in that eventual 15-11 victory for Auburn. So 2 outs in the top of the 2nd. Palmer fouls off the first offering he sees from Lefkes against the Pioneers dugout. 0-1 the count with 2 outs and the bases empty. Palmer with a 3-run shot last week off of Lefkes in the first inning. Made it at that point 6-0 Pioneers with nobody out. A swing and a miss. Lefkes burying the breaking ball down and in. 1-2 the count, or 0-2 the count with 2 outs. Oh-2, and Palmer just takes high. 1-2 the count. A nice cut fastball that Lefkes and potentially the catcher Gianluigi thought they had for the end of the inning. Nonetheless, one more pitch on the way to Palmer. 1-2 with 2 outs. And the base is empty, no score. Kicking and firing a breaking ball outside. 2-2 the count as Lefkes misses with 2 straight to the left-handed hitting Palmer. Palmer batting .333 across 7 starts on the season. 7 hits, an extra base hit, a homer, and 6 RBIs. 1024 OPS with a very small sample size for the Pios first baseman. A swing and a miss. A nice slider at the top of the zone that Palmer cuts through. The second consecutive 1-2-3 inning, second strikeout of the ball game for the righty Lefkes. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no runners left on base for Elmira. An inning and a half through, no score here on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. The Elmira Pioneers would like to thank some of our most loyal sponsors for the 2025 season. That includes Saratoga Eagle, Save a Lot, ServiceMaster, Serve Pro, Serve You Credit Union, Sheddon's Wholesale, and Solutions Credit Union. Let's head to the bottom of the second inning. Nolan Terwilliger and the Pioneers have taken the field. It'll be a 6, 7, and 8 due up in the Auburn order against the Elmira right-hander who kicks and fires a fastball in there over the outside corner for a called strike 1. It's the right-handed hitting Izzo, followed by Vasquez and Thompson. 0-1 to Izzo. Breaking ball popped up at third base in foul ground. It's John Simmons. Settles under it. The catch. 1 out. So economical work by both starting pitchers so far through the opening 2 innings for Hunter Lefkes, the opening inning and a third for Nolan Terwilliger. And that'll bring up Vasquez, Doubledays third baseman, with 1 out and nobody on here in the home half of the second. Terwilliger sets middle of the rubber, working out of the windup, kicks and fires, breaking ball low. 1-0 the count. 1-0 from Terwilliger inside, and it buzzes Vasquez, who had to back up off the plate, retrieves his batting helmet as it flew off his head in the process of him ducking out of the way. 2-0 quickly the count with 1 out. Vasquez has made 7 starts on the season, 9 ball games, very formidable, .333 batting average, .885 OPS, and that batting average might extend, but a nice play by Grabowski as he cut like a wide receiver into shallow left field to his backhand side. Like a route-running wide receiver, ranges back and makes the catch and does a little air guitar in the process, having some fun with it. And heck, if you're Aiden Grabowski right now in June of 2025, I'd be having a lot of fun with it too. That's how special of a ball player he's been. A key catalyst and driving instrument for this Pioneers winning stretch of baseball. Like we alluded to prior, a .550 batting average for Grabowski last week across 7 games, 4 extra base hits, a multitude of stolen bases, scored 9 runs, astute defense. Great vibes all around for the Pios shortstop. Fastball outside corner for a called strike 1 to the left-handed hitting Josh Thompson. 2 outs and the bases empty, home half of the second. No score between the Pios and the Doubledays. It'll be a 1-1 with 2 outs. And the fastball just misses off the outside corner, rather took some life off that and change up in the high 70s. 2-1 the count. Terwilliger's done a good job not working from behind for the most part. Breaking ball outside corner for a called strike 2. So a nice cut fastball that just nipped the corner. 2-2 with 2 outs. As Nolan sets and fires, fastball off the plate. It's a full count. It's Josh Thompson, the second baseman, digging in for the Doubledays. As Terwilliger comes set and deals the payoff pitch, and it's outside ball 4. So the second walk of the day through an inning and 2/3 for Terwilliger as Thompson reaches. And that'll bring up Mark Gialuisi, the catcher. Gialuisi, what a career. He had a Greater Middlesex Conference Hitter of the Year growing up in Westfield, New Jersey, previously of the University of Virginia. 0-1 the count. Gialuisi, a redshirt freshman at Rutgers University, an attendee of St. Joe's High School in Metuchen. A high pop-up, left side of the infield. Grabowski settles under it. The call on the catch to retire the side in the bottom of the second. For Auburn, no runs and no hits, no errors, and they strand a runner on base. Let's take it to the third, no score between the Pios and the Doubledays here on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Auburn as we get you set for the top of the third inning. Pioneers and Doubledays scoreless. A nice job so far by both right-handed pitcher Hunter Lefkes for Auburn, who takes the mound now. 6 up, 6 down for him. Nolan Terwilliger for the Pioneers has fared well nicely besides a single in the bottom of the first, 2 walks in each respective inning as Lefkes fires a fastball over the inner third for a called strike to Ty Martineau. It'll be the 7, 8, and 9 in the Elmira order to come to the plate in the top of the third. Martineau followed by Wagner and Hammer. Righty on lefty matchup. Lefkes rocks and fires the 0-1 breaking ball. Sits in middle third for a called strike. So 0-2 the count on Ty. We mentioned a strong start to the season for Martineau, batting .346 across 8 ball games, as he awaits the 0-2 offering. With the bases empty and no one out, a swing and a miss. A beautiful cut fastball over the inside corner that Martineau swings right through for out number 1. So already the third strikeout of the ball game through 2 1/3 innings of work for Hunter Lefkes, who's faring much better this time around against the Pioneers. Lefkes not even recording an out last week in what was an eventual 15-11 Auburn victory, which had to become a bullpen game to record all 27 outs. Ready and ready matchup comes to the plate with 1 out. It's Carl Wagner, with the bases empty, takes a fastball low and away, 1-0 the count. Wagner out of Washington and Jefferson University, seeing some time behind the plate for the Pioneers. Carl's gotten himself up to a .294 batting average. Pioneers in general collectively hitting much better. Still around the middle of the pack in the extra base hit and homer department, so power not a strength necessarily of the Pioneers right now. Nonetheless, they're still finding ways to get the job done as Wagner swings and misses through a fastball. 1-1 the count. Outfield's at medium depth. Infield plays back. Uncharacteristic of a start between the Pioneers and Doubledays. 6 runs in the first inning between both teams combined on June 10th. Auburn led 4-2. Last ball game, Pioneers led 7-0 after the first. It was 2-2 after the first here back on June 7th, so a very quiet offensive ball game to begin. But the Pioneers don't mind as they've been getting some really formidable pitching performances lately. Garrett Rochon, Brendan Hayes, and now Nolan Terwilliger so far tonight. 1-2 the count with 1 out. Kicking and firing is Lefkes, and the breaking ball misses low, just below the knees. 2-2 the count to Wagner. Lefkes comes set, working strictly out of the stretch position. From the wind, delivers. Swing and a miss. A beautiful breaking ball at 76 miles an hour. Not much of a difference, which sometimes can be dangerous, but it can also be an absolute weapon, and that's what it's been for Lefkes in the early going of this ball game. Fastball sitting 82-84. Breaking ball right around 75-76, and he's been playing off of it nicely. Gets Wagner to chase at the letters. So 2 gone in the top of the third with the bases empty, and it's the right-handed hitting second baseman out of Northwood University, Brendan Hammer. Brendan has had a nice impact so far for the Pioneers, a 900 OPS through his opening 6 ball games in the soaring capital of the world, as he takes a breaking ball inside. Taking some life off that was Lefkes to induce a 0-1 count. 74-mile-an-hour breaking ball. Look to see if Lefkes options fastball here. Confidence with 2 outs ahead in the count. Delivers a breaking ball further inside. Hammer takes. It's 1-1. For Brendan on the season, he's got 8 hits, none of them extra base hits, but 6 RBIs in 6 ball games. There are only 2 Pioneers with 10 or more RBIs. That's Anthony Manganiello with 11, TJ Grimesti with 12. 1-1, lined first base side, foul out of play up against the patio. 1-2 the count. As they play the death siren here at Yankee Stadium. A little bit of confusion here at Falcon Park tonight. You hear the Red Sox strikeout noise after Lefkes has retired the 4 batters through 2 2/3. But also a noise made at Yankee Stadium. The best of both worlds. Breaking ball just misses low. And approval from the catcher, Gianluigi, pops out of the squat and points his glove in appreciation towards his starting pitcher. A nice waste pitch with a 1-2 count, so 2-2 the count now to Hammer. Bases empty, 2 outs, top of the third, no score. Lefkes rocks and delivers. Hammer A line drive down the right field line, foul out of play. So some good pieces from Hammer, who's working the count nicely. He'll see his 6th pitch of the at-bat as he fouls off the 83-mile-an-hour fastball. Should Hammer reach, it'll be Dylan Fatovich who rounds out, or check that, Ben Rohde who rounds out the Pioneers batting order tonight. It'll be a 2-2 with 2 outs. Lefkis comes set, right side of the rubber, gets his sign, rocks and fires, and the fastball misses low and away. Hammer's worked a full count. Brendan right now boasting an on-base percentage of .500. Tied for second in on-base percentage for the Pioneers with Michael Palmer behind, you guessed it, TJ Gurmesti at a .600 on-base percentage. Payoff pitch is low and inside. Hammer walks here with 2 outs. So the streak of 8 in a row to start the ball game for Lefkis has now concluded. It'll bring Ben Rohde to the plate with 2 outs. Rohde batting .227 across 9 ball games, 5 hits and 2 RBIs, a .370 on-base percentage. Light lead for Hammer off of first as Lefkis peeks over. Middle infield at their regular depth. In at the corner at third is Vasquez, who made a really nice play in the top of the second inning to retire Cooper Smith, who hit it right on the nose, and it was destined to go down the left field line. Would have been the first Pioneers hit of the ball game. Pioneers still searching for their first hit through 2 2/3 against Lefkis, who has been absolute money with 2 pitches. Sometimes you see a litany of pitches in a starter's arsenal. That's the more common occurrence, but 2 pitches have been soundly getting the job done for the Doubledays right-hander this evening, who delivers a breaking ball in tight. 1-0 the count to Rohde. Lefkis kicks and fires, and a slow dribbler. In at third base, charges Vasquez. The throw to first base. Nice stretch. Not in time. Rohde beats it out. So that's the first hit of the ball game for the Pioneers. It's an infield single, and it'll turn it back to the top of the batting order in Aiden Grabowski. First and second for Elmira with 2 outs in a scoreless game in the third. Grabowski with 9 RBIs. Tied for third with Brandon Dubek on the Pioneers in the RBI category. He's got 2 out there for him, 1 in scoring position as Hammer leads off of second. Rohde off of first with 2 outs. Pioneers looking to draw first blood here in Auburn. Extending his lead off of second is Hammer. A lot of looks from the right-hander Lefkis, who fires, and Grabowski a high fly ball, shallow center field. In charges Meyer, and he'll put it away for the final out of the inning. So the Pioneers bring a little tension against Lefkis, but do not draw first blood momentarily as the fly ball to center is put away by Meyer. Grabowski's retired for the second time in the ball game. And for Elmira, no runs and a hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. We played 2.5 innings at Falcon Park. No score between the Pios and the Days here on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. This season, you can connect with the Pioneers like never before with exclusive content on our social media platforms. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok at the Elmira Pioneers on all platforms. We get you set for the bottom of the third inning. It'll be the right-handed hitting Bobby Hardy to step to the dish to round out the Auburn batting order. Bobby Hardy followed by Vivacqua in the leadoff spot, Kieran in the 2-hole against the righty Nolan Terwilliger in his third inning of work. Nolan's fared nicely. A hit, 3 base runners, 2 walks through 2 innings of work. No earned runs to his name so far. Product out of SUNY Niagara, pitching to a 1.29 ERA in his first 4 outings, 13 1/3 innings on the season for Terwilliger in a Pioneers uniform, who was lights out a little less than 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago to be exact, against the Niagara Falls Americans, who were in first place at the time, as that one just over the shortstop Grabowski's head into shallow left field for a base hit. So Aiden's been a vacuum out there at the shortstop position, but unable to retrieve that as the looper's just out of his reach, and it's a leadoff single in the home half of the third. Bobby Hardy with the second hit of the day for the Doubledays. First hit since the first inning, and that'll bring it back to the top of the batting order in Tyler Vivacqua. So it's Vivacqua in from the left side. Tyler, so far in the ball game, 0 for 1 with a grounder to Brendan Hammer in the bottom of the first inning. It's Hardy to lead off at first. Righty on lefty matchup. Terwilliger rocks and fires, and the fastball middle third catches for a called strike 1. A belt high fastball Vivacqua takes. Here in the bottom of the third, no score between the Pios and the Doubledays. No runs on 1 hit and no errors for Elmira. No runs on 2 hits and no errors for Auburn. Fourth meeting of the season between both squads. Auburn in first place, Elmira in second. One of the reasons why the 1-game separation in head-to-head matchups. Doubledays are 2-1. Pioneers looking to even up the series at 2 apiece, which would put Elmira at 12-6. An exact 2/3 winning percentage, which is really amazing considering the 0-3 start and the negative 22 run differential. A nice hit and run as a liner down the left field line off the bat of Tyler Vivacqua. Rounding third and coming to the plate is Bobby Hardy. The throw's not going to be in time. It comes into Simmons, the cutoff man. It's an RBI double off the bat of Vivacqua. And just like that, the Doubledays lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the third. So a beautifully executed hit and run as Bobby Hardy was taken off to steal second. The liner down the left field line, and despite the bursting speed of Manganiello, he was unable to corral the throw back into the infield in enough time. So a run home with nobody out in the inning. Third hit of the ball game for Auburn. 2 hits and a run here in the third against Terwilliger. Second consecutive righty on lefty matchup. It's Tommy Kierwin, the left fielder, to come to the plate as he takes the breaking ball inside for a called strike 1. Nice pitch there from Terwilliger. Vivacqua leads off of second with 1 out. Kierwin singled against Terwilliger his first trip to the plate. 1 look at second. Nolan delivers in a line drive down the right field line, just foul. Pioneers got lucky. That would have gone for extra bases as Smith will retrieve in the corner. Quickly ahead, 0-2 in the count is Terwilliger against Kierwin. So a relatively quick ball game to open up. Pioneers and Doubledays exchanging strong pitching performances. Hunter Lefkis has looked dynamite so far. A walk and 4 strikeouts, only allowing 1 Pioneer hit and no earned runs across 3 innings of work. Stark contrast from his last performance, and hopefully for Lefkis' sake to calm down his ERA on the season. Terwilliger misses inside, 1-2 the count. One, 2, fastball off the plate, 2-2 the count. Terwilliger, a long look at Vivacqua off of second. And now the 2-2. Breaking ball, hit on the ground, past Palmer at first into right field for a base hit. Coming to the plate and scoring is Hardy. It's an RBI single for Tommy Kierwin. And now it's 2-0 Doubledays here in the bottom of the third. Rather, that was Vivacqua who came in to score. Kierwin's off at first, 2 runs on 3 hits in the bottom of the third against Terwilliger, who's only gone in relief so far for the Pioneers. Obviously, don't want to use that as an excuse for Nolan, who is pitching well through the opening 6 outs that he recorded in the ball game. But now, still nobody out here in the bottom of the third. It's the 3-hitter Sam Meyer, who drew a walk his first trip to the plate against Nolan. Runner takes off to second on an inside fastball. Throw down to second, and not in time to nab the hustling Kierwin, who gets into scoring position now via a stolen base. Runner on second with nobody out. Bottom of the third. 2-0 the Doubledays lead over the Pioneers. Fastball off the plate. 2-0 the count. Here comes set and fires. Fastball in the dirt. 3-0 the count. Luckily for Terwilliger and just the Pioneers pitching staff in a nutshell, the damage that has been done by the Doubledays here in the third. 2 runs on 3 hits, no walks, no errors. So on the front of fielding and self-inflicted wounds, that has not played a part in the Pioneers trailing so far in this one. A swing and a miss. Sam Meyer swinging away on 3-0 and cuts right through it. 3-1 the count. Terwilliger, one look at second, fires, and the fastball inside for ball 4. So the third walk of the ball game issued by Terwilliger. The first 2 did not come around to score as they came in the first 2 innings. Auburn with 2 runs here in the third. Runners on first and second for the cleanup man, Adam Sullivan. Eric Burkhan's going to come out to the mound now and have a conversation. Would imagine you'd start to get some action loosely stirring in the Elmira bullpen. Reminder, Pios fans, new trading card sets and mini bats are now available at the merchandise store at Dunn Field. This season, get yourself the latest Elmira Pioneers gear, hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts, warm-ups, baseballs, you name it. So much more. Be sure to stop by the merchandise stand by concessions the next time you are at Dunn Field. Runners on first and second with nobody out. Here in the bottom of the third inning. No runs on 1 hit and no errors for the Pioneers. The hit came off of Ben Rohde in the top of the third. Stranded 2 runners on base as Aiden Grabowski popped up to shallow center. Righty on lefty matchup, the cleanup man and the shortstop Adam Sullivan. Terwilliger comes set, gets his sign. Kierwin leads off a second, Meyer off of first. First pitch from Nolan, fastball outside corner, taken by Sullivan for a called strike 1. A 1 inside, almost clipped. Sullivan, 1-1 the count. Terwilliger fires, a line drive down the left field line, foul, slices over near the Auburn bullpen. So a 1-2 count with nobody out. An 83-mile-an-hour fastball from Terwilliger, who's lived on the inside corner primarily for the most part of tonight's outing. Runners on first and second for the Doubledays, who have scored 2 runs in the inning. On 3 hits, still pressing for more. Terwilliger 2 looks at second, 1-2 with nobody out. A swing and a miss. Sullivan tips it into the glove of Gramesti. He's down for out number 1. First strikeout of the ball game for Terwilliger, and it comes 2 1/3 into his outing. 1 out, still 2 on here at the bottom of the third, and that'll bring up the right-handed hitting DH and Colson Thompson. Thompson in his first trip to the plate, a fly ball to shallow left field. Anthony Manganiello put it away to retire the side in the bottom of the first. Left side of the infield's relatively deep. Grabowski is at double play depth, so is Brendan Hammer. Behind the bag at first is Palmer, a double steal, grounded to third, stepping on the bag, Simmons not in time. So Simmons was going to look to complete the double play. as Kierwin just got in ahead of Simmons stepping on the bag. Just about a 6-inch separation, a split second. And as a result, it's an infield single for Thompson. 4th hit of the inning for the Doubledays and 2 runs home. Bases loaded with 1 out. So now the corners will come in. Simmons plays even with the bag at third. Palmer is in at the lip of the infield grass at first. Middle infield's at double play depth. Outfield's relatively deep. They'll let the run score. First pitch squirts behind the catcher to Gromesti into the backstop. Everybody will move up 90 feet as coming to the plate is Kierwin. Meyer up to third. Thompson up to second. And it's now 3-0 Doubledays. So 3 runs on 4 hits. Still no errors for the Pioneers, but essentially one right there as the usually stout Gromesti behind home plate lets that squirt through his wicket. Want to know the count to the right-handed hitting Nick Izzo, and now the Pioneers bring the infield in. They're down 3. 1 out, home half of the third. Terwilliger fires, and it's over the head of Izzo, who had to duck out of the way. A breaking ball. Soft and slow at 70 miles an hour. 2-0 the count. Pioneers will continue their road trip traveling to Auburn tomorrow, traveling to Newark tomorrow to take on the Pilots. We'll be back home again against Geneva on Friday. 2-0, a high fly ball to deep left center field. Manganiello on his horse, so is Rohde, who cuts over in the gap. Both aren't going to be able to get it as it bounces up against the left center field wall. Coming in to score easily is Meyer. Thompson right behind him. He'll score. It's a 2-run double, now getting hung up and tagged out. But they're going to say there is interference made either by Simmons at third or Grabowski at second, so still 1 out in the inning. As now 2 more runs come in to score. It's 5-0 on the 5th hit of the inning. A 2-run double off the bat of Izzo, as both Meyer and Thompson come in to score. 5 runs on 5 hits through a third of an inning against Terwilliger, and now the Pioneers bullpen really starts to stir. So the C's were looking calm for Terwilliger, now fires behind Vasquez, coming in to score. Close play at the plate as Terwilliger dives. That's not in time. So a pass ball and a wild pitch in the inning account for a third of the Auburn offense. As now Izzo, who advanced to third on the interference, comes in to score. 6-0 the Doubledays lead. So the bases are empty for all the wrong reasons for the Pioneers with 1 out. They're now down by 6 as Terwilliger fires fastball off the plate. 3-0 the count. As Terwilliger comes set and fires inside corner. Fastball for a called strike 1. 3-1. Fastball, called strike 2. Stepping out of the box to head down to first was Vasquez. He gets pulled back in. 3-2 the count with 1 out. Base is empty. Auburn 6 runs on 5 hits through a third of an inning against Terwilliger in the home half of the third. Payoff pitch, lined into shallow center field. In charge is Rohde, and he makes a nice running grab for out number 2. So Ben showcasing his flexibility and speed out there. Cuts in shallow center to retire Vasquez, who lined it pretty sharp, but right on a line into the webbing of Rohde. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third, and that'll bring up Josh Thompson. Thompson walked in the bottom of the second inning. Only 2 walks across 2 innings for Terwilliger, and I say only in the sense that no runs came in to score. Now with 6 in the bottom of the third. Walks still primarily not the issue on Terwilliger's part. Only 1 in the inning, as Auburn's been peppering hits around. They've batted 9 in the inning so far. 0-1 with 2 outs. This one lined off the end of the bat. Shallow center field. In charge is Rohde. He's going to play it on a bounce. So Auburn's batted around here in the bottom of the third. 6 runs on 6 hits. A 2-out single off the bat of Josh Thompson into shallow center. And you wonder if that'll do it for Terwilliger's outing. Still no stir from Eric Burkan or Andrew Drum. as the Pioneers in danger of losing their third ball game to the Doubledays in 4 games to begin 2025. It's the right-handed hitting catcher, Mark Gianluigi, to step to the dish, who popped up to the shortstop Grabowski to conclude the bottom of the second. 0-0 offering from Terwilliger with 2 outs. A fastball misses high and away. 1-0 the count. Thompson leads off at first base. Short lead for him with Palmer holding him on. Terwilliger is going to step and fire back to first. Fastball inside corner for a called strike one. Gianluigi mentioned him as he lines it, and a nice play by Simmons to his forehand side at third. John Simmons has been an absolute vacuum so far for the Pioneers, and he showcases it there again. But the trouble is 6 runs on 6 hits on no errors and a runner left on base. We've played 3 innings. Auburn ahead by a touchdown here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. The Elmira Pioneers would like to thank some of our most loyal sponsors for the 2025 season, including Just in Time, Kahuna's, Kennedy Valve, M&T Bank, Martha Lloyd Community Services, Ma's Cheesy Dreams, and McDonald's. Pioneers have dug a hole for themselves. They trail 6-0 as we enter the top of the 4th inning. Good news is they'll be the 2, 3, and 4 in the Elmira order to come to the plate. Gramesti followed by Manganiello and John Simmons. Ready on ready matchup, here's TJ Gramesti, who hits the breaking ball on the ground to shortstop. Adam Sullivan a few steps to his left, a high throw, but holding the bag nicely at first base. Good footwork in the adjustment by Izzo for out number 1. So Gramesti grounds to shortstop for the second time of the ball game. 1 out and the base is empty in the top of the 4th, and that'll bring up Anthony Manganiello, who hit a slow dribbler about 4 steps to the right of Josh Thompson in the top of the 1st, who retired him to conclude the inning. He'll bat, ready on lefty matchup. Pio's down 6, nobody on. As Lefkis rocks and fires from the right side of the rubber, breaking ball misses high and away at 73 miles an hour, 1-0 the count. For the Pioneers, a run so far across 3 1/3 innings. For the Doubledays, 6 runs on 5 hits through 3 innings of work. Against the Pioneers ready, Nolan Terwilliger, who's made 4 appearances on the season. We mentioned he entered the day with a 1.29 ERA. Those were all relief appearances. He's making his first start for the Pios and ran himself into trouble in the bottom of the 3rd. 10 batters face as Auburn sends every hitter to the plate. A line drive into right field. Settling under it is the right fielder Hardy to make the catch to retire Manganiello, as Anthony's gone for the second time in the ball game. flying out to deep right, and that'll bring up John Simmons with 2 outs and the bases empty. Simmons inserted into the cleanup role, leads the Pioneers in extra base hits on the season. Batting average now down, was about 320 last week, down to 256 across 13 ball games. 6 extra base hits, 6 of his 10 hits extra base hits. And for Simmons, 3 RBIs, a .436 slug percentage as he watches a backdoor breaking ball high. 1-0 the count. Cooper Smith patiently awaits on deck. He hit a sharp liner that was snared by the third baseman Vasquez his last trip to the plate. 1-0, breaking ball, misses outside again. 2-0 the count to Simmons. John steps out of the box, readjusts his batting gloves, and will step back in. We have Nate Krukow coaching first base tonight in place of Brian Joe, who didn't make the road trip. Pioneers hitting coach. See primarily more at the games at Dunfield. Krukow, also the team statistician for the Pioneers in the dugout. One of the most finite baseball minds you'll meet involved in this Elmira Pioneers organization. 2-0, that one lined to deep center. Going back is Meyer. He settles under it a few steps to his right and puts it away for the final out of the inning to complete yet another 1-2-3 inning for Lefkis. He's had 3 innings in which he's retired the Pioneers in order in his opening 4. As Simmons lines out to deep center, no runs and no hits. No errors and no runners left on base. We played 3.5 at Falcon Park. Doubledays ahead 6-0 here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. The Elmira Pioneers would like to thank some of our most loyal sponsors, including Council Rock Wealth Advisory Group, Current Power Sports, Dandy Mini Marts, Dr. Susan Minchin, DDS, Elm Chevy, Elmira Heat Treating, and Elmira Impact. As we get you set for the bottom of the 4th inning of action, Nolan Terwilliger is out of the ball game, which means Andrew Jones is in, making his 2nd appearance against the Doubledays on the season here from Falcon Park. Andrew Jones so far this year, the 17-year-old southpaw out of Addison, New York, who's just a recent graduate of Addison High School, going to SUNY Niagara in the fall. A 0-1 win-loss record, 5 appearances, 1 start. That came June 7th back here against the Doubledays. 8 innings of work. He's given up 16 hits, 7 runs on 7 earned. The walk's a bit high with 6 but 11 strikeouts in pitching to an opposing batting average of .410. He'll face the 10-1-2 in the Auburn order to come to the plate in the bottom of the 4th, with the Doubledays comfortably in front by 6. It'll be Bobby Hardy, the right fielder, followed by Tyler Vivacqua in the EH role, and Tommy Kieran in left field. Here's Hardy from the right side against the lefty Jones, working from the right side of the rubber. Andrew steps and fires, and the breaking ball misses high and away at 69 miles an hour. A ball opens up Jones's outing. 1-0 the count. And the breaking ball lined foul. 1-1 the count. No runs on 1 hit and no errors for the Pioneers. The hit came off the bat of Ben Rohde in the 3rd. Pioneers so far in the ballgame have stranded 2 base runners as a bunt down the 3rd baseline, charging into Simmons. Off balance throw to first, and Palmer's unable to pick it, and Mike's glove comes off. His body is going over to second base. Now Hammer retrieves behind first base in foul territory, is getting up to second. is Bobby Hardy. So we'll look to see what the ruling is with that. Would anticipate an error on the Pioneers. Despite John Simmons coming in, it likely could have been an infield single, but the throw was off balance and wide of Palmer, who was unable to make the pick. So it will go down as a hit and an error. So an infield single and an E5 puts a runner into scoring position. Second consecutive hit for the ball game for Bobby Hardy, as he's up to second base. A hit and an error to open up the bottom of the fourth, and a runner in scoring position for Auburn with nobody out. Jones comes set with one look at Hardy off of second. It's back to the top of the batting order, and the fastball fouled back from Tyler Vivacqua, inserted into the EH role for Auburn this evening. 0-1 the count. Jones has been seen cranking it up to 85 miles an hour with his fastball. Got potential for real good stuff from one of the youngest Pioneers. And hard-throwing southpaw. This one lined over Palmer into right field for a base hit. Rounding third and coming to the plate is Hardy. The throw is cut off as Cooper Smith made a nice one-hop throw into Palmer, but nonetheless it's a moot point. 2 hits in the inning, a run home, as an RBI single off the bat of Vivacqua now makes it 7-0 Doubledays. For Vivacqua, a double and a single, 2 for 3 in the ball game with 2 RBIs. 7-0 Auburn. Nobody out, and that'll bring up the left-handed hitting Tommy Kierwin. Lefty on lefty matchup. Jones rocks and fires, and Kierwin takes a fastball inside corner for a called strike one. This one lined into left center field, cutting over is Manganiello. Rhodey in the gap. Manganiello calls and makes the catch for out number 1. Pioneers would also like to thank some other loyal sponsors, being Finger Lakes Federal Credit Union, FM Howell, Glovehouse Guthrie, Hesselson's Hilliard, and Jubilee. 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth as Kierwin flies out to Manganiello, and left it'll bring up the righty hitting Sam Meyer. Lefty on righty matchup with 1 out. A run home on 2 hits and an error in the inning against the southpaw Jones. This one rolled on the ground to third, stays in fair territory. Simmons goes to second. They're going to call it foul. Looked like it might have been in fair territory. Went over the third base bag seemingly from our vantage point here in the broadcast booth. Nonetheless, home plate umpire had the best angle right down the line. He decides differently, so it's a foul ball. 0-1 the count. Meyer, so far in the ball game, has walked twice. He came around to score in the bottom of the third because 6 Doubledays did come around to score in the bottom of the third against Terwilliger. Tough outing for Nolan, as he's done after 3 innings. This one lined into left center field. That's going to be a base hit, and that's going to split both Manganiello and Rhodey and go all the way to the wall. Coasting around third and easily scoring is Vivacqua on the RBI triple off the bat of Sam Meyer as he slides in safely ahead of the throw. 8-0 Auburn leads here. Third hit of the inning, 2 runs home, as Meyer has reached base all 3 times in the ball game. Vivacqua easily scores, and the Pios face their largest deficit of the season against the Doubledays so far. Auburn ahead 8-0 through 3 1/3 against 2 different Pioneers pitchers. Another run 90 feet away with Elmira down by 8. It'll be the lefty hitting shortstop Adam Sullivan. Pioneers will bring the infield in. They're now within 9 outs of potentially being 7-run ruled because they're already down by 8. Could be down by 9 here in a brief moment as Jones misses down low. 1-0 the count. As Jones then fires for a called strike, 1-1. 87 miles an hour from Jones. That might be a new season high for Andrew. Gassing it up there on the Doubledays cleanup hitter. Now backs it up with an inside corner breaking ball. A 15-mile-an-hour speed difference there. 72 to get the called strike, 2. Some great pitching work there from Jones, who will look to get his ender here on Sullivan. Rocks and fires on the left side of the rubber. Sullivan just taps it foul to stay alive. 1-2 the count. So 6 runs on 6 hits in the bottom of the third for the Doubledays. And now 2 runs on 2 more hits in the inning. Rather, 6 runs on 5 hits, 2 runs on 3 hits in the inning. Now in the bottom of the fourth, 3 runs on 3 hits make it. As a ground out to first base, Palmer steps on the bag to retire Sullivan. But it's an RBI put out as Adams washed. 2 outs and the base is empty, but the Doubledays now ahead 9-0. So it'll be Colson Thompson, check swing, foul ball, 89 from Jones. Lefty on righty matchup. With the bases empty and 2 outs, Pios trail by 9. Breaking ball misses high from Jones, 1-1 the count. Jones executing his true potential tonight. 87-89 has been his highest fastball. Has been sitting around 85 with the off speed, sitting 70-72, topping at 74. Sky's the limit for Jones, who was put in a bit of a tough situation with the Pios trailing by 6. Doubledays in good spirits. They're in first place, looking to extend that tonight. And they're in comfortable command here. A 6-run bottom of the third, followed by a 3-run bottom of the fourth. 2-1 the count as Jones misses inside with the fastball. Jones working quickly, down 8 to 10 seconds in between pitches. This one grounded to the forehand side of Grabowski at shortstop. The deep fire in time to conclude the bottom of the fourth. But 3 more runs on 3 hits, an error, no runners left on base. We'll head to the 5th with Auburn ahead 9-0 here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Nine to nothing Auburn as we head to the top of the 5th inning. The Elmira Pioneers would also like to thank Southern Tier Custom Fabricators, Swan Morse Insurance, Texas Roadhouse, Tom South Corning, United States Army Vasco Brands, and Visions Federal Credit Union for their sponsorships for the 2025 season for your back-to-back West Division champion Elmira Pioneers. Nothing 1-1 for Elmira, 9-8-0 for the Doubledays. The box score as we head to the top of the 5th inning. It's Cooper Smith against Hunter Lefkis, who pops up the breaking ball first base side out of play into the patio up against the Pioneers clubhouse. 0-1 the count. Smith with a sharp liner snared by the webbing of the third baseman Alex Vasquez. Smith's first trip to the dish. So it'll be an 0-1 with nobody out. Pios trail by 9 with the bases empty. Top of the 5th. As Lefkis sets from the right side of the rubber, kicks and fires, breaking ball low and away. 1-1 the count. Andrew Jones gives up 3 runs on 3 hits, 2 earned in the bottom of the 4th. No walks, no strikeouts, and 6 batters come to the plate for the Doubledays. 1-1 with nobody out. Smith on the ground, Shortstop pass, Sullivan into left field, or center field for a base hit. Smith's aboard for the Pioneers. First hit since the third inning. One on with nobody out. So Smith singles, and that'll bring up the lefty hitting first baseman Michael Palmer. It's Palmer with Ty Martineau waiting on deck. Smith, a medium-sized lead off of first. Lefkes a quick check-in on him. Despite 4 innings in a blowout ball game, 9 runs coming in to score for Auburn. Pioneers have to look on the bright side. You go up against a Newark team you're 3-0 against tomorrow. A Geneva team you're 4-0 against on Friday night. And then at Batavia on Saturday, a doubleheader at Niagara Falls on Sunday. So 2 of the longest road trips of the season for the Pios to follow. First of 6 ball games in about 100 hours for Elmira. No stranger to facing adversity on the season. 7-2 in their last 9 ball games, including a 5-game win streak last week. A high fly ball deep to right center field. Cutting over in the gap is the center fielder Meyer, who settles under it. The call on the catch for out number 1. So a fly out to deep center off the bat of Palmer, and that'll bring up the DH Ty Martineau. Ty struck out swinging to lead off the top of the third on the breaking ball over the inner third established by Lefkes. 2 hits for the Pioneers. 1 came off the bat of Rhodey, and now Cooper Smith, who leads off the first. Righty on lefty matchup. Middle infield at double play depth. Holding the bag at first is Izzo. Vasquez about even with the bag at third, 20 feet to the left of the bag. Quick snap though, and checking on Smith at first once again is the right-hander Lefkes, who's fared really nice so far. First pitch to Martineau, fastball off the plate. Ty takes a ball and no strikes. Breaking ball over the heart of the plate. Martineau takes for a called strike. Ty slumping his knees there in frustration. I guess it might have been low from this vantage point. Could not really tell, but we're even at a 1-1 count with 1 out. Smith leads off of first. Pios trail by 9 in the top of the 5th. Lefkes out of the stretch, kicks and fires. Breaking ball off the plate. Jumping out of the crouch quickly to receive was Gialuisi. In anticipation, Smith might take off, reading the outside breaking ball. A slow delivery to the plate from Lefkes, who executes that off-speed pitch at 70 miles an hour. He's behind in the count, 2-1 to Martineau. Ty batting consistently over 300 through 6 ball games this season. Fastball high and away. 3-1 the count. Taking a little bit off that was Lefkes. We've seen him up to 83, 84 miles an hour in the ball game. That one at 80. Pioneers so far in the game have drawn 3 base runners, 2 on hits. As the first base runner of the game was Brendan Hammer, right-handed hitting second baseman for Elmira, who walked to break up the then perfect game through 2 2/3. That's how strong Lefkes was pitching to open up the ball game. Breaking ball in there for a called strike 2. That's confidence from the right-hander Lefkes. It'll be a payoff pitch with 1 out to the left-handed hitting Martineau, who's played some second base. Tonight it's Hammer, who's kind of that interchangeable rover for Elmira. You've seen him play some third base. He can even play some outfield and play some second as well. Smith, a short lead off at first. Payoff pitch on the way. Righty on lefty matchup to Martineau with 1 out. And the breaking ball, a nice hit and run the other way. Smith's going to round second. He'll stop right there, though, as it's right in front of the left fielder in Kierwin, who will fire back in to the shortstop Sullivan. So 2 hits in the inning for the Pioneers as Martineau, a beautiful slap into left field with the shortstop Sullivan cutting to the second base bag to attempt to nab Smith, should that have been strike 3 to Martineau. So now it'll be the right-handed hitting Carl Wagner to come to the plate. First inning in the ball game with 2 hits or more. And it comes now with Elmira trailing by 9, top of the 5th. Down in the hip department by 7 to Auburn as well. Righty on righty matchup. Lefkes kicks and fires. Breaking ball taken letter high by Carl Wagner for a call strike 1. Wagner also struck out swinging, one of the 4 strikeout victims in the ball game, across 4 1/3 against the right-hander Lefkes. Martineau seamlessly doing so well in that DH role. So consistent all season. We talked about that in the pregame show. He gets on again here with a nice piece of hitting the other way. Doesn't try and do too much, just puts bat on baseball and finds immense success in the process. 0-2 the count with one out. Ready and ready matchup with Wagner, up to 250 on the season entering tonight's ball game. It's a long look at Smith off a second. And now a second look from the right-hander Lefkis, who's working for the right side of the rubber. Smith extends his lead. 0-2 offering. Wagner shoots it down the right field line. Foul out of play. Carl will see another pitch. Sam Meyer usually at the center field position. Tommy Kierwin you've seen play some shortstop. Alex Vasquez predominantly at third. Josh Thompson predominantly at second. Nick Izzo the first baseman. Gia Luisi, one of the newest additions, shall I say, to this Auburn team. He's behind the plate tonight catching Lefkis. 0-2 to Wagner, and Carl grounds it to third. Stepping on the bag is the third baseman Vasquez. The throw across the diamond in time, and that's a 5-3 double play to get the Auburn Doubledays out of the inning. So for the Pioneers, no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and they strand 2 runners left on base. We're halfway through. Auburn ahead by 9 here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Pioneers Baseball. As we head to the bottom of the 5th, the Pios would also like to extend their thank yous to Ward Manufacturing, Wegmans Weiss Markets, Well Now Urgent Care, Wilbur Auto, and Woodbrook Assisted Living. New pitcher on the mound for the Pioneers. It's the left-hander Michael Cobb out of Bridgewater State University, who kicks and fires a fastball, and it's high and away to the right-handed hitting first baseman Nick Izzo. It'll be the 6, 7, and 8 in the Auburn order to step to the dish in the bottom of the 5th against the Southpaw Cobb, second consecutive Southpaw to appear for the Pios in relief this evening after Nolan Terwilliger had a bit of a rough going through 3 innings of work. Andrew Jones completes his day with 3 runs on 3 hits, 2 earned runs in the bottom of the 4th inning, and now they turn it over to the left-hander Cobb, who fires and misses away. 2-0 the count. Quickly behind with nobody out. Izzo swing and a miss. 79-mile-an-hour fastball over the outer third at the hip. 2-1 the count. Izzo 1 for 2 in the ball game, but it's a big 1 for 2. A 2 RBI double in the bottom of the 3rd. Provided a third of the Auburn offense in the 3rd inning alone, which has them out to a 9-0 lead. Izzo, a high fly ball foul down the right field line out of play. So Cobb works nicely back from 2-0 to a 2-2 count. Cobb pitching to a near 17 ERA, but only 2 2/3 innings of work. That's what's important to remember. 5 earned runs, 6 runs on 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. Opposing batting average of .571 as this one's lined deep into right center field. Ben Rohde cuts over on his horse in the right center gap to put it away on a floating changeup from Cobb. It's 75 miles an hour. 1 out here in the home half of the 5th. So here comes Alex Vasquez, yet to reach base in the ballgame. A liner to the shortstop Grabowski, a fly ball to Rohde in center, but has made a couple nice plays at third, including the 5-3 double play to retire Carl Wagner and the Pioneers in the visitors' half of the 5th inning. Contributing to the Doubledays' 9-run advantage. Cobb fires a fastball inside corner for a called strike at 80 miles an hour. 0-1 the count. No runs on 3 hits and an error for the Pios. 9 runs on 10 hits and no errors for the Doubledays. Cobb working from the left side of the rubber out of the stretch position. Winds and fires. Breaking ball spun in there for a called strike 2. A belt-high breaking ball, about an 8-mile-an-hour differential between fastball and breaking ball for Cobb. As he looks to get his ender here on the right-handed hitting Vasquez, with Izzo flying out to deep center to start the 5th. 0-2. A swing and a miss. A nice slow changeup over the outside corner. Cobb gets Vasquez to cut through it. That's out number 2 in the inning. Vasquez 0 for 3 in the ball game. So with 2 outs and the base is empty, that'll bring up Josh Thompson, the second baseman. As Cobb kicks and fires, lefty-on-lefty matchup. Breaking ball misses outside, 1-0. Thompson in the ball game, a walk and a single, reaching base twice. With 2 outs, fastball outside corner, called strike 1. Fans, be sure to tune in right here on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network again tomorrow night as your back-to-back West Division champion Elmira Pioneers hit the road to complete a 4-game road trip. They face off against the Newark Pilots from Colburn Park. Our live coverage kicks off with Pioneers pregame live at 5:55 p.m. First pitch scheduled for shortly after 6:30. Once again, that's Pioneers and Pilots from Colburn Park in Newark, New York, tomorrow evening, right here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. 2-1 the count to the left-handed hitting Thompson with 2 outs and the base is empty. Pios trail by 9. 6-run third for Auburn, followed by a 3-run fourth. Cobb delivers in a ground ball to second. There's Brendan Hammer. He fields and throws in time to complete a nice 1-2-3 bottom of the 5th for Michael Cobb. For the Doubledays, no runs and no hits, no errors, and no runners left on base. We'll take it to the 6th. Auburn leads 9-0 here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Pios fans, your back-to-back West Division champion Elmira Pioneers are back at home this Friday night, June 27th, against the Geneva Red Wings for Free Hilliard Baseball's night. Doors open promptly 1 hour before first pitch at 5:30 p.m. Be sure to call 607-734-2690 for tickets. Go Pios! Brendan Hammer comes to the dish to open up the top of the 6th inning against Hunter Lefkis, the right-hander for the Doubledays, who has coasted through 5 innings of work, 4 strikeouts and 3 hits, no earned runs. He's stranded 4 Pioneers on base as he gets Hammer to cut through the 83-mile-an-hour fastball over the outside corner. 0-1 the count. It'll be Hammer followed by Rohde and Grabowski. 9-10-1 here in the Pios order in the top of the 6th. Elmira trying to attempt to not get 10 run ruled. It's at 9 right now. Michael Cobb came in and was brilliant in the bottom of the 5th. Induced a fly ball off of Nick Izzo's tape to deep right center field. Got Alex Vasquez to strike out swinging, followed by Josh Thompson to ground out softly to the aforementioned Brendan Hammer, who's at the dish right now, who lines the 1-1 breaking ball, trickles off of Lefkis' glove. Second baseman second baseman Thompson fires to first. Get my words a little caught up there. Brendan Hammer, the second baseman for the Pioneers, up to the plate. Grounds one to Josh Thompson, second baseman for the Doubledays, who makes the play, out number 1 in the inning. So the play goes 4-3. Brendan 0 for 1 in the ballgame. Reached base once earlier, was stranded on second via a walk versus Lefkis in the top of the 3rd. That's the other impressive thing. Lefkis only issuing a walk through 5 1/3 innings of work, and he was errant and all over the place last week against the Pioneers. It's Ben Rohde who singled his last trip to the plate. Takes a fastball in the inside corner for a called strike 1. Pioneers still yet to score their first run. They were knocking on the door twice. Stranded 2 runners on. In both innings they recorded a hit, being the 3rd and the 5th. And 2 consecutive hits. Or rather, shall I say, 2 hits in the inning off the bat of Smith and Martineau, who were both on second and first respectively. Then Carl Wagner grounded into a 5-3 double play to the third baseman Vasquez, who's been swallowing baseballs up like a vacuum all evening from the hot corner. This one nubbed off the end of the bat by Rohde. Cutting over is the second baseman Thompson. Fires, off-balance throw in the dirt, picked nicely by Izzo, but too hot to handle as Ben Rohde, flying down the first baseline, gets on for another infield single, his second of the ball game. Pioneers' 4th hit through 5 1/3 innings of work against Hunter Lefkis, and that'll turn it back to the top of the batting order for Elmira and Aiden Grabowski. Fans, come join the back-to-back West Division champion Pioneer family. Season tickets start at just $99. Stop by the merchandise stand to sign up today at Dunn Field, and go Pios. So a runner on first with 1 out. Ready on ready matchup. Lefkis against Grabowski. Hunter will snap and throw back to the bag. Rohde dives in safely. Aiden in the ball game 0 for 2, struck out on a breaking ball at the letters to open up the ball game. Then a pop-up to shallow center field with Sam Meyer cutting into his forehand side to retire the side in the top of the 3rd. Breaking ball swung on and missed from Grabowski. 0-1 the count. A slow 73-mile-an-hour breaking ball at the knees of the Pioneer shortstop. So now 4 hits for Elmira across 5 1/3. Still no action in the Doubleday bullpen, because at the moment, why does there need to be? Economical all night is Lefkis, and what an ironic sport baseball is. Lefkis knocked out of the game before even recording an out against Elmira last week. Now he's registered 16 outs through the course of the ballgame. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. Rohde still second easily, as complaining as the catcher Gialuisi that Grabowski stepped in his way of the throw. Home plate umpire momentarily calls time, as stepping behind the mound to recollect himself as the right-hander Lefkis. Rohde advances into scoring position. It'll be a 0-2 count with 1 out. So it'll be an 0-2, righty-on-righty matchup. Outfield at medium depth, infield at regular depth. Pioneers trail on the big board by 9, and the hit department by 6. Grabowski in the top of the batting order, looking to change those fortunes. Breaking ball lined into left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Rohde's going to round third. He's going to come to the plate. Here comes the throw from the center fielder Meyer. It's offline, as stepping in front of it is Gialuisi. Taking off down to second now is Grabowski. An RBI single for Aiden, and the Pios are on the board. They now trail 9-1. So on the throw, Grabowski advances up to second. No error on the play, but a run on 2 hits. And Elmira cuts the deficit to 8, and making the slow walk out to the mound now is Matthew Petrossi as Auburn's bullpen begins to get loose. We'll wait to see what the verdict is here from the Auburn skipper. A long conversation at the mound between the rest of the infield who came in to convene, the catcher Gialuisi and the right-hander Lefkis, who's coasted so far through 5 1/3, a run on 5 hits for the Pioneers. He's walked 1 and struck out 4. It's the 2-hitter in the order to come to the plate, and TJ Gurmesti, who's very potent, especially with runners in scoring position. Team leader for Elmira with 12 RBIs, 0 for 2 in the ball game though so far, rolling over twice on the ground to the shortstop Sullivan. Pios fans looking for something to eat or drink after the game? Well, don't look too far. Next time you go out to Dunn Field, Kahuna's Bar is open after the game, and fans can redeem their game ticket for $1 off their first drink. Thanks, Kahuna's, and go Pios. So the Doubledays looking to get into first place. They have a comfortable 8-run advantage here. Top of the 6th inning. Right-handed hitting Gurmesti takes a fastball at the knees for a called strike. TJ respectfully disagrees. 0-1 the count. Gurmesti, the product out of Florida Atlantic University. We mentioned the prowess that he brings. A .352 batting average in high school at North Broward Prep. Might not have seen as much play time in his freshman year at FAU, but so far with the Pioneers, entering tonight batting .480. Superhuman video game-like numbers for Gurmesti as he lines one deep down the left field line. That's going into the corner. Just foul. As Grabowski was easily going to round third and motor to the plate. A long foul ball off the bat of Gurmesti makes it 0-2. But TJ was just out early of that breaking ball. He got all of it. 2 hits in the inning for the Pioneers. Rhodey with an infield hit. He's 2 for 2 in the ball game. Now Grabowski 1 for 3. He's off of second. Middle infield is at regular depth. Even with the bag at third is Vasquez. About 20 feet behind the first base bag is Izzo. Outfield's at medium depth. A single likely scores a run. 0-2 to Gurmesti. Kicking and firing is Lefkis, and the fastball misses way outside. 1-2. Gurmesti, a .640 slug percentage. 6 extra base hits, a homer, and 12 RBIs. Team leading 24 hits. The second closest Pioneer is the man out on second, Aiden Grabowski. He's got 14. A 10-hit difference between number 1 and number 2 for the Pioneers. Outstanding between the two, but a pop-up there from Gurmesti into shallow left field. Cutting out is the shortstop Sullivan, who settles under it and puts it away for out number 2. So an unconventional 0-fer in the ball game for TJ. Gurmesti now 0 for 3 as he trots back to the dugout. It'll bring up Manganiello with 2 outs. A run home for Elmira in the inning. They still trail by 8. Now the Doubledays bullpen has gone quiet again, so calming the nerves out at the mound apparently was head coach Matthew Petrossi. Righty and lefty matchup. 2 looks at Grabowski off of second for the right-hander Lefkis, who spins and fires a backdoor breaking ball. Misses high and away. 1-0 the count. So for Gurmesti, it's a P6. 2 ground outs and a pop out in the ball game. Manganiello 0 for 2. So the 2 and the 3 in the Pios order a combined 0 for 5. John Simmons in the cleanup role 0 for 2 as well in the game. Slow sledding for the teeth of the Elmira order. Breaking ball misses high. 2-0 the count to Manganiello. Anthony been finding his stride as of late. We mentioned the .321 batting average. 9 hits and 2 extra base hits across 10 ball games. 2-0. Swing and a miss. Fastball let her high. 2-1 the count. Beautiful night here in Auburn, New York at Falcon Park, home of the Division III Junior College World Series every year. A really nice turf venue, formerly the short season affiliate of the Washington Nationals, the Toronto Blue Jays. Some nice history here at the ballpark as Manganiello gets a swing and a miss through. There was one time about 9 years ago they had this 17-year-old phenom they have on the wall just outside the concession stand here. Had a familiar name, went by the name of Juan Soto. You wonder how that guy now panned out. 2-2 the count with 2 outs to Manganiello. A swing and a miss. Outside corner fastball. 5th strikeout of the ball game for Lefkis, who's through 6 strong, as the Pioneers do send 5 to the plate in the top of the 6th. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and a runner stranded on base. We head to the home half. Elmira trails by 8 here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. The Elmira Pioneers would like to thank some other of our loyal sponsors, including Bully Hill Vineyard, CAF USA, Centralis Health, Chemung Canal Trust Company, Chemung County AG Promotions, Chemung Supply, and Coca-Cola. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Pioneers trail by 8. Michael Cobb back out for his 2nd inning of work. He was incredibly economical in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Faced the 6, 7, and 8 in the Auburn order. Retired them effectively in order. That was Izzo, Vasquez, and Thompson. Now it's the catcher, Gianluigi, to step to the dish from the right side. Lefty on righty matchup with Cobb, who delivers the breaking ball low, 76 miles an hour, 1-1 the count. It'll be Gianluigi, followed by Hardy and Tyler Vivacqua, the 9, 10, and 1 in the Auburn order. 1-1 with the bases empty and no one out. Grounded sharply, third base side foul out of play. Simmons gives it a look, 1-2 the count. So Cobb doing a nice job to hopefully break down his near 17 ERA. We mentioned, though, very small sample size, 2 2/3 innings pitch. A jam shot off the end of the bat to the right side of the infield. It's the second baseman Hammer in a few steps to make the catch for out number 1. Cobb 4 up, 4 down in his relief outing. Pios would also like to thank Myers RV, Nucor, Papa John's Pathways, Pizza Hut, Red Robin, and Rodney J. Strange for their loyal sponsorship for the 2025 season. A litany of companies so invested in Pioneers baseball, and their back-to-back West Division champion Pioneers, even should they lose the ball game tonight, 11-7, another strong start through 18 games. Andrew Drum, a New York Yankees-like model of consistency in terms of rolling out a winning roster every single summer, doing it with new players, new elements, new environments, new atmospheres, and a new set of challenges that have been presented to Elmira this year. First base runner of the ball game against Michael Cobb is getting drilled inside on the left foot. With the breaking ball is Bobby Hardy. He'll trot down to first. 1 on and 1 out for the Doubledays. So it's back to the top of the batting order in Tyler Vivacqua. We mentioned his offensive prowess throughout the course of the ball game. 2 for 3, 2 RBIs. He's scored 2 runs, on a double and a single. He bats from the right side against the lefty Cobb. First trip to the plate against the southpaw out of Bridgewater State. Cobb, originally a native of Waltham, Massachusetts. Sets from the left side of the rubber. Short lead for Hardy off at first. Takes off. Outside strike. Grimesti throw down to second is offline as Hammer had to be pulled about 10 feet to his left off the second base bag. Advancing into scoring position is Hardy, courtesy of a stolen base. So 1-0 the count with 1 out. Auburn leads by 8, a runner in scoring position. Outfield's at medium depth. Rhodey shades over more towards the left center field gap. As Cobb will look at the aforementioned off of second base. Kicks and fires. And the slow changeups off the outside corner, 2-0. Cobb doing a nice job deciphering between the fastball and the changeup. Changeup originally moves like his fastball and then darts over the outer half of the plate, almost like a cut changeup, if you will. Cobb doing a nice job repeating his rhythm and staying consistent throughout the course of the ball game so far tonight. Induces a foul ball off the end of the bat of Vivacqua. And the leadoff hitter for the Doubledays is behind 1 ball and 2 strikes. One, 2 with 1 out. Slowly dribbled foul. Pioneers in danger of dropping what would only be their 3rd ball game in the last 10, which still puts them as one of the hottest teams in the Perfect Game League Western Division, but a slight concern arises considering you have your first place opponent in the Auburn Doubledays, who you could potentially be 1-3 against when all is said and done at the end of the evening. High pop up first base side, giving it a look as Palmer, so is the right fielder Smith. Cuts over near the Pioneers bullpen, goes out of play, so the count remains 1-2. Vivacqua will see a 6th pitch in the at-bat versus Cobb. One, 2. Off the end of the bat, popped up into shallow left field. Manganiello comes in. Grabowski goes out. It's Manganiello, the call and the catch to retire Vivacqua 2 away here in the 6th. So it brings up Tommy Kierwin with 2 outs. Doubledays lead 9-1. We thank you for joining us here on this Wednesday evening on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. Combo look at Hardy, who advances to about a 20-foot lead off the second base bag. Cobb kicks and fires, and the breaking ball catches the outside corner. The belt high off-speed pitch called strike 1 to Kierwin. In the ball game, Kierwin's come around to score. 2 hits, an RBI single, and a fly out to left his last trip to the plate. 0-1 with 2 outs. This one lined over Grabowski into left center field for a base hit. Hardy rounds third. He'll easily score. Manganiello will cut it off in the gap. Hardy thinking 2. The throw from Manganiello is offline to Hammer at second base. An RBI double off the bat of Kierwin, who's now 3 for 4 in the ball game. 2 RBIs for him, and Auburn leads 10-1. On the first of the inning, they score a run. And now with another runner in scoring position, should that run come in to score, the Pioneers could be 3 outs away from being 10-run ruled here in just 7 innings of action. So it'll be a lefty-on-righty matchup. Cobb will deal with the center fielder Sam Meyer, looking to get his ender and get out of the 6th. An earned run on 1 hit, and a hit batsman through an inning and 2/3 for Cobb as he gets Meyer to swing and miss through the changeup over the outside corner. Meyer readjusts his gloves and now steps back in the right-hander's batter's box. Oh, 1 with 2 outs. Breaking ball catches the inside corner for a called strike 2. So Cobb doing a nice job executing an arsenal of 3 pitches throughout the course of tonight's ball game. He's ahead 0-2 on the Auburn 3-hitter and center fielder Sam Meyer. Looking to keep it south of a 10-run ball game. Fastball off the plate. Meyer was starting to fire the hands at a check swing. Ball holds up. 1-2 the count. That was 78 miles an hour, but it looked a lot faster considering how repetitive Cobb was with the off-speed and executing it for strikes. Hence why Meyer likely would have been fooled there. 1-2 with 2 outs. This one grounded past Palmer into right field. Smith is going to make the throw. Coming to the plate is Kierwin. He's going to score on an RBI single off the bat of Sam Meyer. It's now 11-1 in favor of the Doubledays. For Meyer, a triple and a single in the ball game, 2 RBIs. as Elmira trails by 10. 2 runs on 2 hits. Through an inning and 2/3 against Cobb, Pioneers' bullpen remains relatively quiet. For Elmira, this is the third pitcher in the ballgame they've utilized, the second southpaw. Went Andrew Jones and then Cobb following an opener act piece by usual reliever Nolan Terwilliger, who made his 5th appearance of the season. He was pitching to a 1-0 record, now likely 1-1 following the conclusion of this ballgame. 11 runs on 12 hits for Auburn, 1 run on 5 hits and an error for the Pioneers, who have made 1 error in every game but 1 this season. 17 of their opening 18 ball games, Elmira has recorded at least an error. The walk's not as much of an issue tonight as much as Auburn's offense once again just finding a way to torch the Pioneers. There's a fastball for a called strike. Cobb quickly ahead, 0-2 with 2 outs, but the damage has been done. Pio's in danger of being 10-run ruled in the top of the 7th. It's cleanup hitter Sullivan first. Lefty on lefty matchup. Cobb from the left side of the rubber kicks and fires a breaking ball. Blocked by Gramesti, gets away, fires down to second base, offline throw, pulls Grabowski off the bag, advancing into scoring position on the pass ball is Meyer, as that was shielded nicely by Gramesti in front of him about 20 feet to the left of the righty batter's box, but nonetheless, Meyer gets into scoring position now with 2 outs and a 1-2 count to Sullivan, who's 0 for 3 in the ball game, but did have an RBI ground out to Palmer at first, his last trip to the plate. 1-2, fastball lined into left field. Manganiello goes back, settles under at the call and the catch, out number 3 in the inning, and the Pios get out of it without any further damage being done. But the damage very well might have just been done for good tonight, as 2 runs on 2 hits come in, no errors, and a runner left on base. We'll take it to the 7th. Elmira trails by 10 on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Pioneers Baseball as Elmira trails 11-1 as we enter the top of the 7th inning. Auburn coasting their way to a victory. The biggest reason why, the key catalyst in the ballgame, the right-hander Hunter Lefkis, who departs after 6 innings of work. 5 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. For the Pioneers, a bit of a rough going tonight, as it's John Simmons in the lefty batter's box. 2-0, pitch is missing low. 3-0 the count. Waiting to get confirmation on who this reliever is. Might be Max Fishbein or Colin Castile. We want to apologize for the discrepancy in numbers. Roster a little bit different from the number in which this right-handed reliever for the Doubledays is wearing tonight. Once again, greatest apologies for lack of confirmation at the given moment. Fastball on the inside corner, 3-1 count, and yes, we have found out it's Max Fishbein in the ball game. 3-1 to Simmons, hit on the ground sharply. Foul just beyond the first base coaching box and Nate Krukow, so it'll be a full count with nobody out. Top of the 7th, Pio's in danger of being 10-run ruled. We'd like to thank everybody who loyally comes out to Dunn Field to support your back-to-back West Division champion Elmira Pioneers. We want to remind you that a Pio's game is a great way to bring your group together, whether it's school, church, business, youth sports organization, anything in between. Pio's are also able to offer great picnic options for your organization or business. Reserve your group today by calling 607-734-2690. Go Pios. John Simmons draws a walk. So Simmons is on for the first time in the ball game. A free pass from Fishbein. It all started today. Pioneers got through 2 innings unscathed, but the final line on Nolan Terwilliger's outing for Elmira. 3 innings pitched, 7 hits, 6 runs, all 6 of them earned. 3 walks and 1 strikeouts. Or rather, 1 strikeout, shall I say. Fastball misses off the plate. Slow changeup at 75 miles an hour. Want to know the count? Cooper Smith. Smith in the ball game, 1 for 2, led off the top of the 5th with a single. Middle infield's at double play depth with 1 on and nobody out. Wide lead off the first base bag for John Simmons. And the breaking ball misses low, 2-0 the count. Gialuzzi going out to the mound. Max Fishbein out of Denison University appearing in the ball game. The junior out of Druid Hills High School in Atlanta, Georgia. Named a top 50 scholar athlete in his time at Denison. Appeared in 24 games, making 6 starts in his last full season, being his sophomore season. Also having a .342 batting average at the plate with a .958 OPS across 38 at-bats. Multifaceted rover for Denison, and now appears in for the Doubledays as he fires one off of the glove of the catcher, Gialuzzi, and it trickles to the backstop. So 3-0 the count. With nobody out, Cooper Smith. Pioneers gave up 6 runs in the bottom of the 3rd, 3 in the home half of the 4th, and 2 in the home half of the 6th. Fishbein in danger of the first 2 runners to reach base to open up the 7th, but he fires a fastball for a called strike. Hip high to Smith. Cooper takes nothing in 1. 0-1. Smith drives it deep to right center field. Going back on his horse is Meyer. Settles under it, makes the catch, tagging up and advancing to third is Simmons. The throw from Meyer is right on target on 1 bounce, but Simmons slides in ahead of the throw. So 1 out in the top of the 7th. Pios just have to score here to keep the ball game going, at least for 1 more half of an inning. It's Michael Palmer, the left-handed hitter, to step to the plate for Elmira as Smith flies out to deep center. Always some competitive at-bats from Cooper, making hard contact. It'll be Palmer now to hit. Palmer 0 for 2 in the ball game. No strikeout in the top of the 2nd against Lefkis. A fly ball to center in the 5th. So, apologies once again. We thought it was Max Fishbein. It's Zach Herzog in the game. Once again, greatest apologies for the discrepancy in relief pitchers right now for the Doubledays. As a high pop-up behind third base, going back is Vasquez, settles under it, makes the catch. A bluff from Simmons, no tag. It was too shallow. 2 outs now in the top of the 7th, and that means unless the Pios score here from Ty Martineau, which they very well could because of Ty's presence at the plate, they're in danger of dropping their 3rd ball game in 4 to the Doubledays, down to their final out. So a pop-up from Palmer. He's 0 for 3 in the ball game. And that brings up Ty. with 2 outs. Timeout called. Ty will step back in. If you own a business and you're looking for a janitor, supplier, or supplies, be sure to call Vasco Brands and tell them the back-to-back West Division champion Elmira Pioneers sent you. 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Zach Herzog fires a called strike with a fastball. Nothing in 1 the count at 85 miles an hour. Pios in danger of dropping their 2nd consecutive ball game. Lost 4-1 in 7 innings against Jamestown in Game 2 of the doubleheader on Sunday. Grounder just foul, first base side out of play. His ranging to his forehand side was Izzo. Scored it just beyond the first base bag to the right. Nothing in 2 the count to Martineau. 1 run on 5 hits and 1 error for the Pioneers. 11 runs on 12 hits and no errors for the Doubledays. Fastball misses high. 1-2 the count. The 1-2 to Martineau. Breaking ball off the plate. 2-2. So it'll be a 2-2 with 2 outs. Pios trail by 10 in the top of the 7th. It's Ty Martineau, 1 for 2 in the ball game, a single in the 5th, a strikeout in the 3rd. Both 2 plate appearances coming against the right-hander Lefkis. It's Herzog in relief of him, coasting through 2/3 of an inning. Martineau sharply on the ground to first. Handling it is Izzo. He'll take it to the bag himself in time, and the Doubledays win. So that does it in the ball game. A shortened 11-1 loss for the Pioneers, who dropped to 11-7. Auburn remains in first place at 12-5-1 with the victory. So for the Pioneers, in the top of the 7th inning, they strand a runner on third base as Martineau grounds out. No runs and no hits, no errors, and a runner left on base. So the final line in the ball game for both teams. For the Pioneers, they have 1 run on 5 hits, and they strand 6. 1 run on 5 hits, 1 error, and they strand 6 runners on base. And for the Auburn Doubledays, well, they have 11 runs on 13 hits, no errors, and 5 runners left on base. Fans, once again, be sure to tune in right here on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network again tomorrow night as your back-to-back West Division champion Pioneers hit the road to complete a 4-game road trip facing off against Newark from Colburn Park. Our live coverage kicks off with Pioneers pregame live at 5:55 p.m. First pitch scheduled for shortly after 6:30. A busy stretch begins. Pios at Newark tomorrow, versus Geneva at home on Friday, at Batavia Saturday, and a doubleheader versus Niagara on Sunday. We hope you're enjoying all our live coverage on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Once again, the final score, 11-1. The Auburn Doubledays take down your Elmira Pioneers tonight. For Farrell Hudson, I'm saying so long and good night here from Falcon Park in Auburn, New York.